All right, we're going to try to keep this exciting. It's going to be very tough. This is extremely dry in my opinion, but it's also important, and I think that there's value in going through all the equipment. During the race, it became a choice: either film, film footage, which I wish I had right now, or finish the race. And this was my first 100. I chose to finish the race, and thankfully with Zach, Brian, Colette, Michael's help, and Matt, we did that. We have 7 days left until our very first 100-mile race. Starts in Norton, Virginia. It's called Cloudsplitter. We think we know what we're going to do. I mean, it's just a long run or a long walk. And just a couple of notes that we're going to go over for this race. Each drop bag. So there's 3 drop bags. There's one at High Knob. There's one at a place called Bart Camp Lake, and there's one at a Devil's Fork Loop. Now, I don't know how correctly I've interpreted the course map, but I believe that Devil's Fork Loop 8 drop bag, the Devil's Fork Loop drop bag, we'll get to see that 2 times. The Bart Camp Lake, I believe, is 3 times, and I thought we got to High Knob drop bag at least 4 times. So, based on that idea, the number of times we'll get to those drop bags, also based on the mileage from the course map when we reach each location distance-wise, I decided that I would pack 10 hours worth. Well, why does 10 hours make sense? You have 40 hours to complete 100 miles. So it's 100 miles, you get 40 hours. Basically, you divide it out, you get 10 hours to do 25 miles 4 times. So every 20 miles, right? Yeah, trust me, this works out. So every 20 miles, I basically pack 10 hours worth of crap. So, yeah, you end up collecting more than you need, but based on how many times you can reach a drop bag, it works out to where at 80 miles you've gotten everything you can possibly get, and you need to just go ahead and finish the race. As you know, a drop bag isn't really necessary, but if you were to have an issue with your shoes or some type of gear, or your shirt sucks, or your shorts or just need to be thrown away in the trash or burned, you put a couple extra things out there just in case. So at each location, I'm going to pack an extra short sleeve shirt and a long sleeve shirt and a pair of shorts and a pair of socks and a pair of shoes. And I intend to need none of it, but the fact is, a distance of 100 miles, I think for me, it's going to be the first time where, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's the first time. 50 miles is kind of the same. And 50K when you've never done one is pretty crazy. Let's admit it. A marathon's freaking insane. And a half marathon's insane. I remember back when I was just thinking, wow, a half marathon. That's completely bonkers. So we last year, we got pretty excited after we did the 50K here at Cloudsplitter. And we immediately went completely bonkers and bought a bunch of stuff and put on this calendar exactly when you're going to need to sign up for the 100-miler. And I remember waking up and coming downstairs and clicking sign up, and pretty exciting. And right now I'm pretty excited. I'm ready to get going. Got a lot of cool people that are going to be doing this event with. We're all doing this together. We'll finish at different times, and basically we're all just one big family out there. This is the course map that I worked up. This is going to be in a Ziploc bag. I'm carrying it with me. And it basically says mile to next aid station, drop bag, and then just the notes. This was copy and pasted from the participant guide. And then obviously I marked it up. So these colors from the course map. If you go to Cloudsplitter website, you go to the course map, you'll notice a little location markers are different colors. So I just use the same colors for these. And then I tabbed them out, you know, and kind of like on the map. So High Knob Tower, Edith Gap, Bark Camp Lake, Little Stony. Little Stony, you only see one time. Kind of sad. Bye, Little Stony. And then you make your way back to High Knob, you know, so all the way out, all the way back. And then you're in the 100K. You're pretty happy because you keep going. But 100 miler, you head back to Bark Camp Lake. And then head back to High Knob Tower. It's nighttime. I know it's going to be nighttime. Because this is the first 50 miles. And my first 50 miles started at night, ran all day long. Thought I was going to get back before sunset. Didn't get back before sunset. Then it was nighttime. So this is 50 miles. This is a lot of elevation here. I've never done anything like this. This is going to be crazy. But I already know it's going to be nighttime here. It's going to be nighttime, which means chilly, chilly, chilly. So there's things that I'm going to always be carrying. I'm always going to be carrying a coat, pants, gloves, some arm sleeves, right? You know, because I'll be wearing a short sleeve shirt, but I want arm sleeves if I get cold. Those actually really, really, really warm me up fast too. Almost hotter than gloves. But yeah, so boom. After that, you're at mile 52. The remainder, you head down to the Devil's Fork loop, and you go around the loop a couple times. The loop's, what is it, about 8 miles. And then head back up to High Knob Tower, and then back to the farmer's market. This part seems like it's very small, very easy. However, it's basically also half of the race. So that's kind of nuts when I think about it from that perspective. Based on the 3 drop bags, how many times we visit, I wrote down, you know, about how often, and decided that basically every 20 miles picking something up would be good, like extra salt tabs. So I'll never carry like a whole pile of salt tabs with me, you know. I'll basically just be picking up more as I go along. And then I put in some stuff like caffeine, but honestly I don't want to touch caffeine until 75 if I can help it. Some of the notes I put in here were, hey, pick up your spare battery. And it's going to be done at probably High Knob Tower before we head down to Devil's Forks. The idea is I'll have the phone charged up between that last trip from Bark Camp to High Knob, even though it's not going to be drained hardly. But then that battery will be used halfway through the race, put it away, grab also another battery for my waistband light, and just, you know, headlamp, make sure that's good. We'll have trekking poles. I don't know how to carry those the whole time. That's something I needed to think about. I'm really not sure what else I could have done that I haven't done. Everything I thought about since the 50K last year until this point is all something I've done. In fact, I've done even more since then in terms of foam rolling and ankle exercises, balance, Bozu ball. I guess it's the best effort, man. You know, we've done a couple 100Ks since then that we didn't plan on doing. I didn't plan to do a 50 miler after last year, and we did one. In fact, the last 100K was pretty easy. It was an easy course anyways, but felt good. Felt real good. I'm pretty excited. I'm ready to go. Alright. Good morning. See you guys. Yeah, you too.
This time. Okay, here we go.
That's a waste enough time for everybody. No, that's a bad idea, man. I guess we can jog a little bit. Yeah, we are. Goodbye, watch. See ya.
9:25 in the morning. Mile 5. Yeah. All right, we're at 27 miles. Sun just poked its head out. Rained a little bit this morning. It's actually really, really amazing weather. Can't complain. All right, so just finished getting from Little Stony back to Bark Camp Lake aid station drop bag, and the usual. Had some soda, had some PB&J, had some soup, potato soup, really amazing. Grabbed some stuff for the road. Usually gels. Gels are easiest when you're trying to keep moving. So it's about 4:20 in the afternoon. 27 miles. I imagine we'll be back to this spot around midnight, because it's, I don't know, 12 miles to High Knob, 12 miles back. So it's basically the same distance. So yeah, maybe it's gonna be like 3 in the morning. I don't know. Fun story. Had a bunch of us get stung by bees early on. So got stung in my leg and in my stomach. Pretty funny. But actually it hurt really bad. It didn't stop hurting for a few miles either. But oh well, such is it. Yeah, just really perfect weather. Really good stuff. Yeah. Climbing for days. Climbing for days. 30 miles, 5:30 p.m.
All right, so we've talked packing gear bags. Let's talk unpacking them. Here's a high knob bag. This was the most full because we visited it 4 times just like we thought, even though last year it was only 3 times. It actually worked out better this year, which is great. So this was probably too small based on what I packed. But does that mean we're getting a bigger bag? No, not really. In this bag we had dude wipes. We did not use those. I won't be packing them again. We also had a number of hot hands hand warmers. I didn't use these, but these were very helpful for a couple folks that needed them. So I'll probably continue to pack something like this. Plus they don't take up much room. In this bag we had spare hydration bottles and also a spare hydration bladder. I think that it would have been a better idea to spread this out across all the drop bags that we had. This was pretty far apart. If I had an issue with the one bladder that I carried, I would have been in really bad shape. So good to pack. Gonna spread them out next time. Salt tablets. Didn't really use these, which is great because they're not cheap, and now I've got a ton of them. Pretty much didn't touch these at all. Alright, what's in here? Alright, we got the what are these called? The inserts for the temps, in case we didn't want to use the insoles. Well, we didn't switch those out at all. We've got, yes, pants. Still a great idea. This was if it was eternally cold and I needed to change out of the shorts. I had another pair of pants with me for temporary. Those will get packed again just because
We had a hat that was thicker material than a buff, and this was a good idea. It didn't need it. The buff was actually more than sufficiently hot. I believe the temperatures got down to 40 or so. Spare headlamp, always going to pack that. There's the salt tabs and acetaminophen pill, just in case, and caffeine. Didn't use any of those. Spare batteries for GoPro. Won't pack these again. Didn't need that. Didn't need this either. Won't pack this again for a long race, unless it's in summertime. This is probably good for summer. It's supposed to be one of those cool towels. Spare socks. I'm only going to change socks one time at mile 50. Compression sleeves for the legs. Won't be packing those again. Trail toes. Good stuff. Won't be packing that again either, but I will be adding Desitin. I didn't reference this at all. It was my cheat sheet of where we were going. No, didn't need it. Here we had a spare battery. It's 13,000 milliwatt hours. Didn't need this at all. Won't be packing it again either. Cell phone on airplane mode while listening to music. Only got to 43% battery saver mode. And the Garmin Fenix 6, as you know, has epic battery life. We had another battery in here just in case. Spare gloves in case I lost my gloves. Didn't need them. Is it a good idea? I don't think I'm going to lose my gloves. You're out there and you're freaking out. You're not losing your gloves. Here we had to change the shorts. Never going to change my shorts on a run. Never. And we had a shirt in case I wanted to change my shirt. The short sleeve compression shirt I wore was just fine. I won't be packing that again either. Here we have a long sleeve shirt that I could have changed into. Oh, in fact, this is kind of cool. This particular shirt is Cloudsplitter from last year. Won't be packing a long sleeve shirt. Not this light material. I have a really good winter one from Under Armour that I will pack in the future in case it's so cold that I need to change into it. And here's some underwear just because. So all in all, this drop bag is going to be a lot smaller next year. Next drop bag we have is Bark Camp Lake. Bark Camp Lake was pretty fun. In this case we have, well, I tell you, it's all basically the same stuff. And Bark Camp Lake, I did put on some blister moleskin. It actually doesn't help at all. It still hurts, so there's no point to that. There's something else that's better that we'll get into later. I did change my shoes and socks here. I did not pack Desitin. We will be packing that next time, and the idea for that is, well, I got a couple ideas, but one, we can put a glop of it in like a bag like this, and then we can fit our foot in here, kind of get it all around. You know, during the race, take your foot out, put your sock on. It's not on your hands. Like, I think that's a good idea, so I have to try it. I'll do that before the next couple of long runs. We have some coming up, so no worries. We did change shoes. Since we brought shoes, we thought we should try different shoes. These were the Olympique 3s from last year. Still a great shoe. Really enjoyed running in those. The problem with my trail shoes, I set them up with bungee laces. Don't ever do that. They're great for road shoes. Nothing else. Dude wipes. Didn't use them. Ooh, yeah, here we go. I forgot about these. Ooh, that's nasty in there. These are great. Every time you visit a drop bag, it's going to be far enough distance. Go ahead and do a protein. These are from Walmart. Premier Protein, 30 grams. Every time. Good stuff. Nano spikes. That's never getting packed again. We did try these. That is just funny. Won't be doing that again either. Here we had more hot hands. Probably still pack them just because they're small and you never know. I do need to find some better gloves though. And then another pair of gloves. This drop bag here is Devil's Fork Loop. This was my first time visiting Devil's Fork Loop at Cloudsplitter. And it really changes the game quite a bit in what the race becomes. At the time, it was really difficult, and I wanted to punch myself in the face for going there. But of course, anything that's really difficult is worth doing. Okay, so Devil's Fork, I really thought I would be there in the morning. There's the pants that I don't think I'll carry those. It didn't get too cold. These are good for a drop bag. They're also small enough to where I can decide to bring them. I can go either way at this point. Haven't really made an official call. Again, they're small enough, no problem. Here's one we didn't use. Devil's Fork was so tough, I didn't even think to look through here that much. Hot hands. We were there in the daytime. It was 75 degrees, super hot. Didn't need hot hands. Dude wipes. Didn't need those. Not packing those again. We've got a spare hat, spare buff. We've got another spare battery to charge things. We don't need that. We've got short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt, shorts. We don't need that. Socks. Don't need that either. That's Devil's Fork. This bag here, we packed. We knew it was race day morning. We also are able to just throw our race stuff in here when we're done. And we know we're good. Yes. Trekking poles. Very awesome. Used these the entire time. Never once had them attached to my vest. Kind of a lie. Had them attached in the beginning, but only for the first mile. Here we had a little bit of tape so that I knew which one was the right side. Alright, let's get into the pack. Always carry a trash bag with me. Super useful. And this side we have acetaminophen, chapstick, and Benadryl. Got stung a few times early on. Thought about using Benadryl but didn't. Of course, cheat sheet. Kind of useful. I'll always do one. I won't do more than one next time. That'll be the one that I just carry in reference. Here we have headphones. This is perfect with gloves on. You can actually press the button for volume changes and muting and pausing. I don't know. Here we salt pills, old hammer gel. This is part of our Sawyer filter kit. We use this to fill up our hydration bladder. It kind of seemed like a big, tedious task, but even still, I prefer that over taking the pack off and opening up the bladder area and wondering who's got what, and it's heavy, and it's just, with this setup, you basically show up at the aid station. Everybody is willing to help, which is amazing. You get them to fill this up, but I said fill half with heat, please, and they would do that, and they would come back. I would screw this on here. Go over to here, whoop, and then I would squeeze this. It would go back through the tube into the pack. You would feel it filling up completely full, and then you would be done. This back up, down there. The reason it's in a baggie is because wear and tear, movement. I didn't want to put a hole in anything here for no reason. Next, we have this little cup here. I didn't use it. I'll still always carry it. It's small. It's not in the way. And if you ever come to an aid station where you're not really finding cups, you're just going to save yourself time by grabbing this sucker. And then, some blister stuff. This stuff is completely amazing. Colette is super, 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 super awesome. That's probably the only reason we finished this race, to be honest. Makes a blister disappear. It did for me anyways. Made a couple of them. It's almost like you didn't have any. Here's a spare bag. Read this on Trail and Ultra Running group. Basically just toss food in there at the aid station and then just keep running. You can eat later. Here's the headlamp. We used that for a little while. When it first got dark, I didn't feel like putting on a waistband light. And at some points I just used both because I had them and I felt like it. And you know, you do whatever you want, man. Invaluable tool. Here, oh yeah, that's goofy. Bears will hear me coming a mile away no matter what. Bear Bell's cute, but no. Here's the waistband light that we set up. It's a Kogala with a Nathan We also added some snaps to keep it from falling off of the magnetic plate. Worked really well. This just went up into the battery in my pack, which was in this water bottle area. So batteries in there. It wasn't raining at all. We'll have to come up with something for if it is raining. I was willing to figure it out on the trail and possibly not have this light. So this would have taken over at that point. Hat would have been a good idea. Did get a little sun during the day. Didn't use it. Probably would only bring a visor next time. Hot hands, more Benadryl. Body glide. Didn't use it, won't carry it. Had some fingernail clippers to deal with cutting moleskin. I think a small pair of scissors would be better. So I'm going to look into getting something like that. Here we have a Sharpie in case we got bit by a snake. We could mark the time and the location and then note the swelling every couple of minutes. Apparently I thought it was very important to bring Body Glide. But what we put on early was sufficient for this race. No issues to report there, amazingly enough. And then of course the bladder's in here, it's 2 liters. That's really it for the pack.
Well, that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get a whole lot of footage on the course. It was really amazing. I hope to have the ability to capture some for next year. Devil's Fork especially is amazing. And gosh, that Century Road. When you're planning for the race and you've never seen it before, you're thinking, oh, if Century Road's going to be a nice little road, and it is a nice little road, you know, if you're insane. And then when you look at an overhead map of Devil's Fork Loop and you see this nice tree cover and you think, oh, it's going to be a nice little jaunt through the woods. Well, no, it's not. Well, that's going to do it for this year. We'll see you all next year. Oh, I should show the medal. We're back. Do you want to mention that you do get an award for signing up really, really early? It's a low bib number. I thought that was pretty cool. That was neat. And then here we have, our finisher's medal from this year. And what's really cool is that eventually we're just going to have a pile of these things. So it's a great time. I love the area. Absolutely beautiful. You should really consider this race. And all right, we'll see you all out there. Happy trails.